To the diamond, nobody upped its payroll more from last year to this year than the Tigers, and now they're trying to avoid a home sweep at the hands of the Royals, and they didn't get Miguel Cabrera in the game. Scratched from the lineup due to a bad quad. Zach Greinke rocked by the Tigers a season ago, but he was awfully good on this day. How about Cleet Thomas swinging, and then Alex Gordon, the pride of Lincoln Southeast, off Jeremy Bonderman, who's second of the year. He didn't hit his second last year until April 21st in Gordon. Royals were up 2-zip. Greinke still looking good in the fifth. He strikes out Marcus Timms. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run allowed by Greinke. To the 8th. Bottom half of the inning, Greinke out of the game. The Tigers perhaps mounting a comeback. First batter, Gary Sheffield facing Ramon Ramirez, and Sheffield flies to left. Martin cannot make the catch. Gary Sheffield trying to turn a single to a double. He's thrown out, but worse than that, he injures a finger on his left hand. How about his left ring finger? Tears a tendon in it. Said after the game he'll try to play through it. A little bit later in the inning, Ramirez gets Pudge Rodriguez. Tigers strike out 24 times in 3 games. They're swept. How do you think Jim Leland feels?
When your club looks the way we did the last couple of days, the manager has to take full responsibility, because we just looked like dead. We looked like we were just going up there, putting our time in, and that's just not good enough. You know, and I'm not going to say anything to the club right now, because I don't think the timing's good. But you know, if they think, you know, like I said, we got a target on us, we'll find out how good we are. We'll find out if we're tough enough, because I haven't seen enough toughness in the last couple of days. I'm very disappointed in that.
Well, if you had the Royals opening up with a sweep in Detroit, you must be Trey Hillman. The new energetic and positive Royals skipper's gotten great starts out of each of his first 3 starters. Gil Mesh, Brian Bannister, Zach Greinke have been dynamite. Next up for KC, a 3-game set starting Friday in Minnesota. Another unexpectedly unbeaten team, the Washington Nationals, going for their first 4-0 start since they were the Expos in '83. Philadelphia, the opposition. Bottom 5, 6-1 Nats. Greg Dobbs pulled from the on-deck circle so Taguchi can hit. He strikes out, so Charlie Manuel not so happy. More on this in a moment. But in the 6th, though, Phillies offense explodes. 7 consecutive singles. Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, Pat Burrell, Jeff Jenkins, Pedro Feliz, Chris Coast. And then Dobbs comes back to get his chance with 2 on, and that's a 7th consecutive single. So now Manuel, well, pleased as he watches this base hit. Yeah, he knew why he put So in. Ties the game at 6, does Dobbs. So we go to the 10th. Bottom of the inning, tied at 7. Man on first for Shane Victorino, who lays down a bunt. Victorino thrown out at first, but Jimmy Rollins, the MVP, never stops running, and he ends up at 3rd. After Utley and Ryan Howard were past, Jason Worth up with the bags juiced, and Jesus Colome walks him on 4 pitches. Nats lose for the first time this season.
Diamondbacks and the Reds, great pitching story and a great pitching performance. That's Doug Davis. He's the story. He's on the mound a week before he's scheduled to have surgery for thyroid cancer. He'll get 1 more start after this one. Ken Griffey Jr., a little bloop job. It's a ground rule double. Got us thinking. 19 years ago to the day, April 3rd, 1989, that's Griff. His first big league hit was a double off Dave Stewart of the Oakland A's. Back to Thursday. Next batter is Brandon Phillips with Griffey on second. And Phillips ropes a double of his own. Griffey will score. Davis 3 2/3, 2 earned, 6 walks, 4 strikeouts. Say hi to Johnny Cueto. His first major league start for the Reds. As you can see, everybody's talking about him and his electric stuff. He was dominant. It's Eric Burns. In the 3rd, Justin Upton. In the 4th, Chris Young. In the 5th, Burns looking. Cueto had a perfect game through 5 in his big league debut. Get out of town. Cueto facing Upton in the 6th. Upton's first of the season breaks it up. Cueto, 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 earned run. A tremendous big league debut. Francisco Cordero would finish it off. Tim Kirkjian now on the Cincinnati Red, who's just starting. He became the youngest pitcher to start 1 of the first 3 games of the season for the Yankees since Hall of Famer Wade Hoyt in 1921. As you can see, Alex Rios also kicking it old school. We just got a Nellie Fox mention in the show. Rios, the single. He now has the record all to himself. 23 straight games with a hit against the Yankees. That was an RBI hit, too. To the 8th, tied at 2, run on first. Scott Downs to face Johnny Damon. Damon lays it down. Downs can't field. Everybody's safe. Derek Jeter would move the runners up with a sacrifice bunt. He does everything well. So with runners in second and third for Bobby Abreu. Little bloop job. Abreu 5 for 10 in the series. That's around a 500 batting average. That's his first RBI. Yanks had a 3-2 lead. Turn it over to Mariano Rivera. Tying run at third to 2 down. Freeze job on Aaron Hill. Rivera's second save. Didn't get his second save until May of last season.
How about the Brewers trying to stick the Cubbies 3 games back out of the chute? They went for the sweep at Wrigley. Bottom 5, Cubs lead 3-2. Aramis Ramirez rip. Going down to dig that one out against Dave Bush. Ramirez's first of the year. Cubbies up 4-2. Now, Ryan Dempster made his first start since May 4th of 2005. On Thursday, top 6. He's facing Prince Fielder, and he gets him. Next up, Ryan Braun, and he gets him looking. Dempster, 6 innings, 5 Ks, 2 runs allowed. Bottom 6, Alfonso Soriano back in the leadoff spot Thursday after hitting second the first 2 games, and that's a little bloop single. Mike Fontenot scores his first hit of the year. Soriano, Cubs take a 5-2 lead. Top 9, Kerry Wood on for the save up, and he gets Jason Kendall looking. Cubs avoid the sweep. 6-3 your final.
Our second consecutive non-sellout in St. Louis. Cards and Rocks. Fans who didn't show up missed out on Ubaldo Jimenez. First ever appearance in St. Louis. Rick Ankiel, the single. Aaron Miles scores. The Cards at a 1-0 lead. Next batter is Troy Gloss. That, too, is a single. Scores Albert Pujols. Pujols, by the way, had 2 hits. He's 5 for 10, 3 walks so far this season. Brad Thompson pitching well for the Cards. Strikes out Todd Helton. The Rockies' first 4 hitters are combined 1 for 15. Thompson 6 2/3, no earned allowed. Garrett Atkins the single. Nice throw by Skip Schumacher. It's Helton out at home. Cards win. And they didn't even need Rico Washington on Thursday.
You do not run on Schumacher, by the way. Astros hammered Trevor Hoffman on Wednesday. Now the Stros and Pots finishing up. Sean Chacon, first start since June 10 last year. 2 outs, runner on. Kevin Kuzminoff takes Chacon deep. 2-run shot. He was 2 for 4, a couple of ribs. You just saw him. Pods go up 2-0. And then in the 7th, game tied. Scott Hairston knocks one to right center. Just out of the reach of Jose Cruz Jr. So Hairston hustles for the 3-bagger. 3 for 3 with a trip, a double, and a single for him. And then Tadahito Iguchi, he drives in Hairston. Padres go up 3-2 to the 9th. Now Trevor Hoffman, oh boy. Bad things happened on Wednesday. 2 outs, though. He's facing J.R. Tolles. It's just a little ground out to third. Hoffman, the perfect 9th, picks up the save. Padres win this one 3-2.
Braves, Mike Hampton pulls his pectoral muscle in the bullpen. He was scheduled to make his first start since 2005. Top of the 7th we go. Pirates were down 3-2. Man on second and 2 down. Jack Wilson, the single, scores Chris Gomez. Wilson was straight his left calf on the play. It did tie the game at 3-all. All right, let's get nutty. Let's get wild and crazy. On to the 10th. Runner on second. Chris Rhysop is pitching. He walks Jason Bay. Ball gets away from Corky Miller. Nigel Morgan's going to go to third. Here's Bobby Cox. He goes to the bullpen, right? Wants Royce Ring. We're good so far. But Cox is going to keep Rhysop, his pitcher, in the game. Sends him to left field, replacing Matt Diaz. So Rhysop has Diaz's glove. Adam LaRoche now at the plate with 2 on and 1 out. And Ring gets him to strike out. So there's 2 down. More defensive changes. Gregor Blanco comes into the game, goes to left field. Rhysop comes back from left field in the pitch again. Bobby Cox uses bullpen 22 times in the first 4 games, so you might understand. So to recap, Rhysop gets his pitching glove back, gives Diaz's glove to Blanco. Already has the glove. Blanco tosses the extra glove to the shortstop, Uni Escobar. Escobar hands it to the second baseman, Martin Prado, who finally gives it to the bat boy. Hey, come on. Rhysop pitching to Xavier Nady. How does the strategy work out? The go-ahead run on third and 2 down. All that, not that good. A 4-3 loss. Last time that strategy was deployed, 1993 Mariners with Lou Piniella.
Indians trying to sweep the White Sox. Now, John Danks 1-7 after the All-Star break last season. This is first start of this season, obviously. And he gets Jason Michaels and then Johnny Peralta. No-hitter through 5 for John Danks. Went 6 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 Ks, 2 walks. Top 6, Juan Uribe off Jake Westbrook. That's gone. His first of the season, 1-0 Sox. Top 8, tied at 1. Joe Crede off Westbrook. His first. White Sox up 2-1. Bottom 9, same score. Bobby Jinks and the blonde goatee on to save it. 1 out, Travis Hafner, he gets him looking. First save of the season for Jinks as the Sox avoid the sweep. Said Ozzie Guillen, we expected to win at least one.
Anything other than Alexa Rodriguez, you would have never heard about this story. Let's get you to top plays. You heard about Patrick Ewing and Patrick Ewing Jr. How about the switching of the hands from the here's something you don't see every day department and the slam dunk and Abbott. Yeah, I'd say he enjoyed that with a 10.
And talk about hands at number 9, Angels and Twins. Howie Kendrick, wet hands. He loses the bat, but watch the guy catch it in the Metrodome seats. Why aren't you ducking? He's catching it.
Paying attention.
My goodness, Angels win the game 5-4.
Number 8, first round of the Open Day Portugal on the European Tour. The Frenchman, Gregory Bordy, chipping from the greenside rough on 16. Shot a first round 63, share the lead.
You had this once. I'm glad I get it now at number 7. David Beckham, his first goal in the MLS as a member of the LA Galaxy. His team beat San Jose 2-0.
That guy's going to sell some jerseys.
You think? Does anybody not have one?
After scoring a goal, I think he's going to sell some. Henrik Zetterberg behind the net. Banks it in off the goalie, Pascal Leclerc. The Red Wings win, and with it, clinch the President's Trophy.
How about UMass Ohio State NIT Championship? UMass's Etienne Brower finishes with a one-hand dunk over Othello Hunter. UMass, though, blows a halftime lead and falls to Ohio State.
Number 4, Nats and Phils, Jason Bergman. Fly ball to right, Jeff Jenkins coming on. Takes the diving grab. Phillies bats finally showed up, better late than never.
Now, your dunk was good. Now, this is Arkansas's Sonny Weems at number 3 in the college dunk contest. That was good, and that was good, but I got to say, I liked your dunk better.
Yeah, so how is that dunk number 10, and that was number 3? We don't get to actually score this. Royals and Tigers, Alex Gordon, the fly to right, Marcus Timms going back and crashing into the wall. Watch it again. Timms has the right hand out there to feel the wall. But he felt the wall okay. And he can laugh about it now, though the Tigers have nothing to laugh about.
Number 1, White Sox Indians, Jermaine Dye, the drive. David DeLucci, the diving catch. Terrific. That is your SportsCenter top play. I'm sure he'd have rather his team won. They lost 2-1.
Royals try to go to 4-0 in Minnesota against the Twins. That's their skipper, Trey Hillman. Justin Morneau came into this game 0 for 13. Bottom of the 3rd. His team down 3-1, single to left. Joe Mauer scores. Now Michael Kadire is going to slide head first into 3rd, and he's going to get up. And he's not saying, pull my finger. He's saying, my finger's dislocated. Look at that. Oh. Twins trail 3-2. Bottom 4 now. We're tied at 3. Mike Lamb's on 3rd. How about this? Bottom of the 4th, squeeze play. And believe it or not, that would be the deciding run of the game. 4-3 lead. The game ends 4-3 because Joe Nathan would save it for Scott Baker. And the Royals will not go undefeated. They lose their first game of the year. Minnesota wins 4-3.
White Sox Tigers. Detroit nearly $139 million in payroll, and Jim Leland's crew still the only team in the majors without a win. Bottom 3 with 2 outs after 2 Jose Contreras walks. Jose Guillen has a little chat with Contreras. 1 out later, Contreras deals, and Ivan Rodriguez hits it to right. Good for a double, driving in 2. Pudge 1 hit shy of 2,500 career now. Tigers down a run. Next batter, Jacques Jones singles to center. Pudge scores, and we're tied at 5. Of course, Guillen not happy with Contreras. 5 innings, 10 hits, 4 earned, 4 walks. Top 7 with 2 aboard, it's A.J. Pierzynski. Abusing the Jason Grilli offering. First homer of the season. White Sox win. Skipper Leland shoulders blame and points fingers, too.
We just have some bad combinations going, you know, when you get a little streak like this. That's what happens no matter when these streaks are. You got bad combinations going. We got pretty good starting pitching for the first 3 games. We didn't really do much with it, you know, and then today we swung the bats a little bit better. We kind of let it get away. We didn't add on runs, and we had opportunities to do that. So it's a combination of all those things. Usually spell a little bit of a slump, obviously.
Tigers are baseball's last winless team, and their 0-4 start, their worst since 2003. And that club started 0-9 and went on to lose 119 games. No one thought this year's team would be compared to that club. And it's hard to find a silver lining for this stat. No team has ever started 0-4 or worse and won the World Series.
All right, for Philly fans, tonight's SportsCenter scoreboard stumper. Who has the most career hits in Philly history? That's the question. Answer at the end of the highlights.
Nice.
All right, we had a rain delay in this one, then Pat Burrow hit a home run. Josh Fogg, Red debut, gone. Burrow's first this year. Phillies off to a good start. Then it becomes the Chase Utley show. That's his 99th career home run, and the Phillies are up 5-1. Utley's second this season, so we need one more for 100. Do it this highlight. Just make it easy on us. Thank you. Fill thy horn with oil and go. Find me a king. Make him a lottery pick. The answer, Mike Schmidt, 2,234. All right, 3 games into his tenure, Joe Girardi too sick to manage, upper respiratory infection. Rob Thompson takes it. That's not Robbie Thompson, the former Giants second baseman. Different Thompson. Ian Kennedy on a Friday night, making just his 4th career Major League start. He looked like Ted Kennedy on a Friday night in this one. That didn't go real well. Top of the 3rd, Rays up, bases loaded. That was Sean Riggins. He doubled, cleared the bases. 5-0. Yankees start to come back in this one and made it a ball game. 6-4 top 8. Look at that laser from Cliff. That's a home run in the hallway off LaTroy Hawkins. It's 7-4. And Rob Thompson takes out Hawkins. Kyle Farnsworth, nice do, comes in. Carlos Pena unloads. Remember, he had 46 last year. That's an upper deck crank. Second this year. And the Rays win 13-4. All right, defending world champions, the Red Sox in Toronto against the Blue Jays. Oh, the old school Blue Jays. Dave Steve, Rance Mulliniks, Otto Velez. You could keep going there. J.D. Drew, he didn't look good early. He looked, Bernie Carbo looked awful back to the 75 World Series and hit that home run. Drew kind of had a night like that all night and then won it back. First, Aaron Hill and Jacoby Ellsbury. That's a can of corn. All right, 2 outs. No! Drops the ball after he bangs off the wall. Blue Jays up 3-0. Back to Drew. Again, he looked awful on an earlier pitch in this AB. Then he cranks a 3-run Jackson. Just like that. Sean Markham would pitch really well. First homer for Drew, only had 11 last year. Red Sox hope he hits more this year. However, Markham would still get the win because Frank Thomas, career RBIs, 1676, 20 more to pass Ripken for 21st all time. Jays win 6-3.
Indians A's, first of a 3-game set. Justin Derkshire making his first start since 2003, 6th of his career. Top 1, Derkshire gets Johnny Peralta just looking. Top 2, it's Franklin Gutierrez. He gets rung up. Derkshire looking strong. Top 3, Oakland up 1-0. Derkshire striking out Casey Blake. Pitch appeared to be inside. Blake doesn't like the call. Argues with home plate umpire Tim Timmons as he walks back to the dugout. Derkshire, 5 innings, 1 earned, left with a bicep tendonitis issue. Bottom 5, Ryan Sweeney. Base knocked to left. That'll score Bobby Crosby. Sweeney 4 for 4, drove in for his first career 4-hit game. Oakland doubles up Cleveland 6-3. It's your final.
Need some of that Jabba Chamberlain bug spray down there.
There we go.
All right, Dodgers off to a 2-1 start under Joe Torre. That was Hiroki Kuroda making his major league debut. And he gets Michael Barrett right there. 7th inning, Joe Thatcher against Kuroda. Oh, he takes a ball, and then he takes another ball. Bud Black there, he's not happy. He's the Padres skipper, as we show you there. Russell Martin, 2 batters later. It's a 1-1 game. However, he sends it to right, and the Dodgers go on to take the lead. And from there, they kept hitting. Dodgers win 7-1. They're 3-1 under Joe Torre.
Diamondbacks and Rockies. Colorado celebrating its 2007 NL pennant Friday. Mark Redmond, 0-6 with an ERA over 7 in his last 10 April starts. Top 1, they're loaded for Mark Reynolds. Goes to left, single scores 2. Redmond dicey, 5 2/3, 9 hits, 4 earned. Diamondbacks up 3. Top 5, with 2 outs, it's Reynolds. That is good wood. 2 for 4, drove in 3, and Arizona's up 4-0. Top 7, we got a new pitcher. It's Matt Hergis. And he has to turn and watch it fly off the bat of Justin Upton, his 2nd of the season. Micah Owings K's a career-high 9, and Arizona rolls 8-1.
Is going for their 4th straight since losing their opener, and as the AL West banner from last season. Dustin Mosley, control issues, walks David Murphy, walks Marlon Byrd. Ooh, ouch. Byrd would stay in the game. Then what Buck Owens was to Hee-Haw, Ben Broussard is to the Texas Rangers. Broussard, yes, that's a grand slam.
Former Mariner great.
Yeah, 2nd home run of the season. 5-0 Rangers. Now, bottom 4, Kaysen Gabbard in a jam, bases loaded. That's one of the guys the Rangers got in that Eric Gagne deal. That worked out great for the Red Sox. Rob Quinlan grounds into the double play. Angels did get 6 in the 9th, but they lose 11-6.
Mariners and the Orioles, first of a 4-game set. Brian Roberts wreaking havoc. Bottom 7, Orioles up 4-2. Melvin Moore at the dish, and Chow Sung Beck checks to first. Roberts 50 stolen bags last season. Beck to first again. Roberts
Let's go while we're young.
I know. Beck again checks to first. You know, if you throw strikes, it really doesn't matter. Roberts clearly getting to Beck on the bump. Beck stepping off the rubber. Roberts stays put. Third base coach Juan Samuel gives Mora the sign. Beck's next pitch, deep and gone. Mora with his first home run of the season. Steve Traxel gets the W. He never beats the M's until Friday night.
Astros, Cubs looking for their second win of the season. Rich Hill, tough spring, but pitched pretty well in this. Look at J.R. Tolles. Now, I would have been cooler, I think, if he walked on his hands all the way to first base. That would have been cool. Okay, you're there. Just keep going. Come on. That would have been an ESPY or maybe even a top play. Born in Texas, high school in Texas, college in Texas, playing for the Astros, and he goes deep. How about J.R. Tolles? Had a homer last year. That's his second career home run. Hard hit a triple to left field, but Alfonso Soriano will help you do just that.
Wow.
Miguel Tejada gets credited with a triple. He would then score in a Ty Wigginton sacrifice fly. Chris Sampson pitched well. Valverde the save. Astros win. We'll be your hosts. Number 10, Mavericks and Lakers. Lamar Odom. It's the most underutilized play in basketball is the fake pass. It works every single time for 100 years. Lakers won the game.
Number 9, Heat Wizards. Have a listen.
Oh, spectacular play. Daniels to Butler for 2.
And Washington wins.
Driver 8, take a break. Adel Naroche, Lions win. Look at Dan Ugley. He hits home runs and he starts 4-6-3 double plays. More from this game. It ended with a walk-off home run.
Number 7, Bobcats Raptors. Jason Richardson.
Oh, what a play! Oh, my goodness. Jason Richardson, for the second time, throws one at the rim without looking at it.
Yeah, more from him in a bit.
All right, number 6, Indians A's, Derek Barton, fly ball. Right, here comes Franklin.
Gutierrez at the
Yes, very well. Well done, very good, well done. A's win, though, 6-3.
Number 5, Heat Wizards. Gilbert Arenas. Sweet no-look alley. Nick Young, the oop. That is worth another look. Arenas getting it done. Agent 0.
Good to hear your voice over the top play that time. Number 4, Arena Football, Kansas City and Georgia. Chris Greason to Carl Morris. Oh, I got to see that one again. Yeah, well done. Right over along the hockey boards there. Georgia won the game.
Number 3, more Jason Richardson. This time, crossing over. Big finish.
SportsCenter Hall of Fame dunker.
Bobcats get the victory, 105-100.
Let's do the hockey now. Panthers and Hurricanes. Hurricanes could have clinched the division with a win, but perhaps this is the play that will keep them out of the playoffs, maybe. Look at Craig Anderson. The Capitals now control their own destiny. They could win the Southeast Division with just a tie over the Panthers.
Number 1, Pirates Marlins. Bottom 9, tied at 4, Mike Jacobs. His first career walk-off. This from a man with 49 home runs career. Marlins win 5-4. Bill Hall with 14 home runs last season. Bottom 1 with 1 aboard, Hall. Abusing the Jonathan Sanchez offering, his first of the year. Sanchez shelled 4 innings, 7 earned. Brewers up 3-0. Bottom 5 with 2 aboard. It's Hall stepping in against Kichi Yabu. This time, Hall again goes yard. Third career 2-homer game, 6 RBI. That's a career high. And Hall's Brewers pound the Giants 13-4.